My yentas, Uncle Casey's yentas, ooh, Whoopi and Sonny. I know what my girls are thinking. I know they have been missing that toxically masculine attention that only Uncle Casey can provide. I know my yentas have been thinking that I have forgotten about them. But that's simply not true. I've just been busy focusing on other things. We had the NFL draft and the collapse of Shedeur Sanders. We had the reopening of the WNBA dump and the official start of pretend basketball. Angel Reese has been begging for attention. Random unknown dump divers in the WNBA like Natasha Cloud have been seeking validation from people who can grow a beard naturally without the assistance of Just for Men. We've had the mainstream media exposing each other in their cover-up of Johnny B. Biden. Who knows? Maybe the FBI will hit the media with RICO charges. I know RICO is normally reserved for the mafia or organized crime, but RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations. I can't think of another organization in the country that is more corrupt than the mainstream media. But you get the point. Uncle Casey has been extremely busy these past few weeks. I haven't had the time to give the necessary attention to my yentas. But that does not mean I've forgotten about them. That doesn't mean I haven't been paying attention. I have been noticing the rampant bitterness with my personal favorite, Asuncion. I see you, son Hostin. I have been seeing these emotional meltdowns. I know you're missing me, but that's okay. That's okay. Uncle Casey is here now. I have noticed a reduction in the boodle breeze from the whoopee cushion. She hasn't been cranking her leg with as much force lately, which has caused air pollution rates in New York City to decline by 30%. Some are claiming that the whoopee cushion has reduced production of the boodle breeze in an effort to combat climate change. That pesky summer has arrived again, just like it does every summer. The whoopee cushion wants to do her part to prevent changing seasons. But my inside sources are telling me that the reduction of boodle breeze, it has been caused by a lack of toxic gas. Apparently, the whoopee cushion is having a bit of a gas shortage because she's not providing her body with the nutrients required to produce her powerful breeze. My sources are telling me that the whoopee cushion, she's just been too depressed to eat. She's upset because it's been so long since Uncle KC has talked about his ladies. Looking at their recent ratings, I'm not the only one who's been overlooking The View. Several 100,000 lonely women, they have done the same thing. Perhaps these lonely women have done the impossible and found a man that was willing to date them. With the weather warming up, maybe they are feeding ducks in the park instead of watching yentas on TV. Or maybe, just maybe, lonely women have finally realized they were being manipulated and lied to. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Fluffernoggin. You're probably wondering, what the hell's a Fluffernoggin? Fluffernoggin is gourmet beef jerky made right here in America. You don't have to worry about consuming foreign cows that were raised halfway across the world by Mahmoud. These cows are homegrown. You know, most beef jerky is rigid and it tastes like you're biting into a flat tire. Fluffernoggin beef jerky is soft, tender, and it comes in a variety of flavors. They just released their newest flavor, savory garlic butter, which is already my personal favorite. Sure, that's not surprising to you guys because you know how much I like my garlic. But if garlic isn't your thing, that's okay. That's okay. Fluffernoggin is inclusive. They have flavors for everyone. If you're looking for sweet heat, you can go with pineapple serrano or mango habanero. If you're looking to sweat your ass off without having to exercise, you can go with the Carolina Reaper. And if you're more of a traditionalist, you can stick with the original flavor that literally melts in your mouth. So elevate your snack game today by clicking the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL55. Receive 5 bags of Fluffernoggin beef jerky for $55 today. First quarter 2025, The View averaged 2.6 million viewers, a 4% increase over last year. Somehow, the ladies continue to defy trends. During the first 3 months of the year, most woke media outlets, they were struggling and still are. CNN, MSNBC, they lost half their audience after the election. For CNN, that means an airport finally decided to stop polluting their travelers with garbage. For MSNBC, it represented a decline of hundreds of thousands of viewers. While the rest of the media was declining, the Yentas somehow managed to increase their audience. They're like the eighth wonder of the world. How in the hell are these unlikable women drawing 2.6 million viewers? Did divorce rates spike during the first quarter of the year? Was there an increase of lonely women after Christmas? I can't explain it. Most people cover their nose or run away from flatulating women, but the Boodle Breeze is so powerful, it has hypnotized 2.6 million people until now. Over the last month, The View has been averaging 2.3 million viewers, a decline of 12% when compared to the first quarter. I know it's a small sample size. I know it's a few weeks compared to 3 months, but it's a sign of progress. Let me show you why it's so confusing as to why this show has an audience. Last week, the ladies were talking about their favorite topic. They were talking about the object of their obsession. Orange Man bad! My personal favorite, son Hostin, Asuncion. She was mad because the Trumper was rescuing people from South Africa. Normally, you'd think this would be cause for celebration on The View, but the ladies were upset because the Trumper was rescuing the wrong South Africans. Why is he rescuing the white man? Damn that white privilege! How in the hell did he even find the white man in Africa? Meanwhile, Ana Navarro, the lady that's married to the Pepperidge Farm guy, she was wasting time trying to convince us that our former fearless leader Johnny B. Biden was the beacon of health. According to Ann Pepperidge, there's nothing wrong with John Biden. Hell, Johnny B. was just there a couple of weeks ago. Pretend Dr. Jill was there with him. If there was anything wrong with Joe Biden, the pretend doctor, she would diagnose him and give him the proper treatment. Unfortunately, Ann Navarro didn't know that 48 hours later, we would finally be given the truth about Joe Biden. Watch for yourself.
I want to hear from the Democratic Party about how we are going to take our country back, what they are going to do to combat fascism, and what they're going to do to stop the Medicaid cuts that are going on, to stop giving tax cuts to billionaires, to stop taking federal workers' pensions away, to stop taking federal jobs away, to stop taking education away, to stop attacking our institutions, to stopping, why is this Trump administration stopping medical research, cancer? I want to talk about why this administration is giving refugee status to South African white Afrikaners.
Was there any instance that you can point to where his cognitive skill in performing the job as president was compromised, and they haven't come up with that? I hate these campaign books where people talk anonymously. If you were part of that administration and didn't have the gonads to speak when you were part of that administration, and now you are speaking and doing it anonymously, frankly, I don't think this reflects bad on Joe Biden. I think it reflects bad on you.
George Clooney goes on the record to Jake Tapper and says he moved mountains. He flew in from Italy to do this record fundraiser for Joe Biden. Joe Biden didn't recognize George Clooney. One of the most recognizable, men on the planet.
Do they think we're stupid? I can't believe Big Red Joy Behar is wasting time lying about something that's so obvious. You're trying to convince me that it's normal for Joe Biden not to recognize George Clooney. It's normal that a Democratic president doesn't recognize one of his biggest donors, who just so happens to be one of the most famous men in the world. Look, I hope Joe Biden is okay. I hope he makes a full recovery. I hope he can finally retire in peace. Man's 82 years old. You could take away half his age and Joe Biden would still be older than I am. So I hope he can recover and enjoy his retirement. And look, I'm not a doctor. Unlike Jill Biden, I also don't pretend to be a doctor. I don't know shit about prostate cancer. The only thing that I know about prostate cancer is that my dad keeps telling me that it wouldn't hurt for me to go get a screening. I thought they started screening you at 50, but apparently they are recommending for men to get checked at 40 if they want to. I asked my dad. I asked him what the screening was like. I figured they would do tests or run x-rays or something, but he says, nah, the doctor sticks his finger in your ass and he wiggles it around for a little bit. Yikes. That's my level of knowledge about prostate cancer. So I'm just speculating here, uneducated speculation, but Joe Biden announced yesterday that he has an aggressive form of prostate cancer. From the limited research that I've done, it appears that prostate cancer develops very slowly. It's also one of the easier cancers to detect early on. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out, it is entirely possible that Joe Biden could have been being treated while he was president. If that was the case, and that's a big if, but if that was the case, wouldn't that affect his ability to lead the country? Wouldn't that affect his ability to think? Those clips that I showed you from The View, those clips were from last Friday. Now, Joe Biden, he hasn't been in office since late January. Here we are, 4 months later, and the ladies on The View are still trying to convince us that there's nothing wrong with Joe Biden. Like I said, I don't know how this show has an audience. Going into the holidays last year, I thought we were going to see major changes coming to The View. There were rumors that son Hostin could be fired. There were rumors that ABC was wanting to balance the voices on the show, which might explain why Alyssa the Farah Griffin has suddenly been emboldened to fight back against the propaganda. I remember reading an article a while back in the New York Post that claimed that the ladies were worried about the future of the show. But here we are 6 months later, and there doesn't seem to be a damn thing different about The View. Same yenta, same propaganda, same obsession with the Trumper, same lies about Joe Biden. I'm surprised they haven't had Michelle Obama on the show. She needs to promote her podcast with feminine brother Greg, and she also needs to speak in front of an actual audience because she doesn't have one. Anyway, give me your thoughts on this. The View ratings crash, losing 300,000 viewers. How does this show even have an audience? Who is watching The View? I don't know a single woman who watches this show. Do you? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.